grade 8 unit 8, that is heat changes associated with chemical reactions. So this lesson, according to the heat changes happen in chemical reactions. When the chemical reactions are occurring, there is a heat change in the system. So there are two types of chemical reactions due to heat changes, that is exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. So first we are going to see the exothermic reaction. The exothermic reaction, the chemical reaction happening with the evaluation of heat. That means when the chemical reactions are occurring, the heat released from the system. System means we are taking reactants to react, that is the system. So the reaction is occurring, the heat released from the reactants. So that is now exothermic reactions. Now when you look at here, actually the reactants become products. After reaction we call products, and the same time heat released out. So during chemical reaction, the products and the heat obtained, right? So now most of the reactions are exothermic reactions. Most acidic reaction, basic reactions, and the metal with water, so all are exothermic reaction, the heat released. So when you hold the test tube or boiling tube, you feel the test tube become hot because the heat released from the system to the environment. So here one example, magnesium reacts with hydrochloric acid. Magnesium chloride and hydrogen produce with the heat. So the heat also released out. So how we calculate the heat change, that is change of energy. So this is the equation for that. The energy of products minus energy of reactants. You have to deduct the energy of products from the energy of reactants. So that is change of energy we mark with delta H. This is a simple for delta means very small amount. The delta H is equal to HP, that is energy of products minus energy of reactants, HR. So here when you consider the energy of products is higher than energy of reactants in the exothermic reactions. So when you minus it, this is the higher value, then this is the less value when you consider with this. So what happened? So energy of products less than the energy of reactants. So this is the less value, this is more value. So when you minus, you will get the answer in minus value. So the exothermic reactions, the delta H is always minus. Minus means the heat released from the system, that is energy of the system decreases. So the energy released from the system. So when you draw a energy level diagram, this we call energy level diagram. So you know in the y-axis we mark energy. So the energy of the reactants is more. We are starting from 0 here. So the energy of reactants is high. So when the reaction is happening, the energy released from the system. So when energy released from the system, what happened? The energy decreases in the system. So after the reaction, the products form. So when you consider the energy of products, it is less than the energy of reactants. So the energy released to the system, to the environment, therefore the energy of the system decreases. So here the energy level diagram comes like this. So the energy of magnesium plus hydrochloric acid is more, that is reactants. You are getting magnesium chloride and H2, that is products. So what happened? The energy of the products is less and the energy of reactant is more. So when you minus, you will get the value in minus value, right? That is when you get delta H in minus, so that is the exothermic reactions. In some equations they will give you they give the equation, and after that they put delta H is equal to minus and the value. Now example minus 135 like that. So you know the minus value means that is exothermic reaction. So there are examples are there. So next one, endothermic reaction. So the endothermic reaction is heat absorbed to the system from the environment. Heat absorbed from the system to the environment. So here the endothermic reaction delta H is the same HP minus HR, the energy of products minus energy of reactants, but here always the energy of product is high, therefore you will get the value in plus. So now when you are writing the reactions, now we say example copper sulfate, solid copper sulfate, that is white color, when you dissolve in water, the heat absorbed to the system, the heat added to the system, and copper sulfate, hydrated copper sulfate is formed, CuSO4.5H2O, that is water molecules are combined with copper sulfate. So this is hydrated copper sulfate. So the heat absorbed to the system. So at that time when you hold the beaker or a test tube, you feel cool because the system is absorb heat from the environment. The test tube also environment, so it absorb heat from the environment, therefore the beaker becomes cool, right? So here the heat absorbed to the system. Here the energy of the reactants is less, here 0, the energy of the reactant is 0, and after that 0 means less value. After that the energy absorbed to the system. When the energy absorbed to the system, the energy increases. So that is the energy of products, the heat absorbed from the environment, therefore this energy increases. So that is the energy of products is high. That is, now we say example energy of reactants copper sulfate plus water, here hydrated copper sulfate. So here the energy absorbed, here the energy released out, therefore energy of reactants is higher than energy of products in exothermic reaction. So energy released out, so the energy decreases, that is shown in the graph. But here endothermic reaction, the energy is absorbed to the system, therefore the energy level increases. So these are the two exothermic and the endothermic reactions. So I gave some examples for exothermic reaction, combustion, respiration, neutralization reaction, all are exothermic, the heat released out. The endothermic reaction, now dissolving glucose in water. Now when you put glucose into your mouth, you feel very coolness because that the system absorb heat from the environment, that is mouth cavity, it absorbs heat, so you feel coolness. The dissolving ammonium compounds, that is chemical fertilizers in water, endothermic reaction. So the graphs I showed you all the details, right? So exothermic reaction you get the answer in minus value, endothermic plus value, heat of change. So now we are going to calculate change of heat in with some experiments, right? So here the aim is given, determine heat change of the reaction between sodium hydroxide and HCl. You know the sodium hydroxide is base, HCl acid. So this is actually neutralization reaction. So the neutralization reaction, now this is the reaction. Sodium hydroxide with HCl, sodium chloride and water. So we took sodium hydroxide, the volume is 50 cubic centimeter and the concentration is 2 mole mole decimeter cube. And HCl also, the volume 50 cubic centimeter, the concentration is 2 mole per decimeter cube. So here, so we are going to make this reaction. So you know the products are sodium chloride plus water. So this is actually salt, sodium chloride, common salt. So this is when you sodium chloride combined with water, you get sodium chloride solution. So the volume of the product is 100 cubic centimeter, because 50 the total is 100 cubic centimeter. So here we are going to calculate when the reaction is occurring, what is the change of heat. Heat change we are going to calculate. So how many moles we took here, sodium hydroxide? You can use this equation and calculate. That is, concentration is equal to number of moles over volume. So here the concentration is 2 for the sodium hydroxide, 2. The number of moles we have to calculate. The volume is 50 cubic centimeter. To make this cubic meter, you have to divide by 1000. That is decimeter cube, 1000. So that 1000 goes up. So here the N is equal to 50 goes here, multiplication 2 into 50,000 down. So when you simplify this, you will get 0.1 mole. So you are taking sodium hydroxide, the 0.1 mole. Same way HCl also the same value, because 50 cubic centimeter and the concentration. So you are taking hydrochloric acid also 0.1 mole. So now we say how to calculate the this, right? Now you are taking for this experiment, you are taking a regiform vessel. Regiform vessel means that is double wall, that is regiform, made up of regiform. So because the regiform is a heat insulator, therefore it won't allow the heat to go outside, or it won't allow, it won't absorb heat from the outside. They maintain the heat constantly here. So this is the double wall regiform vessel, and that is closed with regiform, stopper also regiform. And here there is a stirrer, that is to stir the solution frequently and get the temperature, constant temperature. So we can get the reading very clearly, and the thermometer is there to calculate the temperature. So first we are taking sodium hydroxide, and first take 50 centimeter cube of sodium hydroxide and 50 cubic centimeter of HCl, and separately measure the temperature. You have to take in 2 beakers and that is get the temperature. So the initial temperature of solution is 30 Celsius. So the sodium hydroxide and the HCl, when you take the temperature separately, they shows 30 Celsius because that's a room temperature. And after this, mix these two solution in the polystyrene cup, regiform cup, and measure the maximum temperature. So you have to stir well and get the temperature, and you have to mark the maximum temperature. We say 40 Celsius. So when the reaction is occurring, what is happening? The temperature rises from 30 Celsius to 40 Celsius. Right. Next one. Now next we have to calculate. Now density of the solution is, first we are going to calculate the mass of the solution. So what is the equation for mass? Volume into density. That is the equation. Volume into density. So you know the density of the solution, that is sodium chloride solution, we are taking as density of water. That is equal to density of water. This is actually assumption. Assumption means we are taking some properties equal to this, like that. So actually that is not true, but we are taking to make calculation. That is the assumption. So the density of the solution we are considering as that solution is water, density of water. So that is density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. In kilogram per meter cube, that is 1000. So here 1 gram per centimeter cube. So volume of the solution is 100 centimeter cube. I told you earlier. So when you mix it 50-50, so the volume of the solution is 100. And the same time, the density is 1 gram per centimeter cube density. So when you multiply this, you will get 100 grams. So volume 100 centimeter cube and the density 1 gram per centimeter cube. When you multiply this, you will get 100 grams. So the mass of the solution is 100 grams. So next one, you are going to calculate heat change. So the heat change, the equation is mc theta. That is, you will study in chapter 9 also. The heat change mc theta. M is mass of the solution. C, specific heat capacity. That means each substances have the heat capacity. Heat capacity means the how much of heat needed to raise the temperature by 1 Celsius. Now if you want to raise the temperature by 1 Celsius, now we say 30 to 31 Celsius, how much of heat you have to supply? That is the specific heat capacity. So that will differ to the solution to solution or material or substance to substance. So here the next one, temperature change, the difference of the temperature 30 to 40. So initial temperature I told you 30 and the final temperature we took 40 Celsius. So you have to take the difference. So the higher temperature to lower temperature, you have to minus it, then you get 10, right? So here also one assumption we are making, the specific heat capacity of the solution is equal to specific heat capacity of water. The two assumptions we are taking. That means density of the solution is equal to density of water. Specific heat capacity of the solution is equal to specific heat capacity of water. So that is 4200 joules per kilogram Celsius. That means if you take 1 kilogram solution to raise its temperature by 1 Celsius, you need 4200 joules. By 1 Celsius, you need 4200 joules. About that, we will study next chapter. So here specific heat capacity is 4200 joule per kilogram Celsius. So mc theta means mass. Mass 100 grams. So we want to make this kilograms. Always the mass we have to indicate in kilogram. So you have to divide by 1000. Right? Here we do 100 grams. Already we measured, right? The mass of the solution. So we have to divide by 1000. So that will make kilogram. Specific heat capacity 4200 and the temperature change is 10. So when you simplify this, you will get 4200 joules. So the heat change 4200 joules in this specific, when you take 50 centimeter cube of sodium hydroxide and the HCl 50 centimeter cube, the concentration is 2 mole decimeter cube. Then you are getting the heat change is 4200 joules. So the how many moles we got from that is sodium hydroxide and HCl, I already explained to you that. So in this equation we are getting 0.1 mole sodium hydroxide and 0.1 mole of HCl, right? So how do you calculate the heat released? That is delta H you are going to calculate. So the heat released when 0.1 mole sodium hydroxide reacts with 0.1 mole HCl. So 0.1 mole, right? So when you react 0.1 mole sodium hydroxide with 0.1 mole HCl, the 4200 joules heat released out. Here we show here. But you have to calculate for 1 mole. Delta H heat change always you have to calculate for 1 mole. So the heat released when 1 mole sodium hydroxide reacts with 1 mole sodium hydroxide. For the 0.1 mole, 4200 joules heat released out. But here 1 mole, how much? So 4200 for 0.1, therefore for 1. So you are getting 42,000 joules. 42,000 joules is equal to 42 kilojoules. When you divide this by 1000, you will get the answer in kilojoules. So the heat change is delta H 42 kilojoules per mole. That means 1 mole reacts, you are getting 42 kilojoule heat released out. So why you are putting minus exothermic heat released? How you calculate? Now when you are doing this experiment, the initial temperature is 30. Final temperature is 40. That means 10 Celsius, that is increased the system, but means the heat released to the environment. That's why the heat increases here. Therefore, that is exothermic reaction. Therefore, we are getting the value in minus. Right? So, that is the, now if the heat absorbed into the system, what happened? The 30 Celsius decreases. So, what happened? You will get the answer in plus value. Right? So, this is the chapter, that is unit 8. So the same type of question only you will get for the exams, right?